How can investors find their first deal in this market, which it's a hot market? If it's priced right, even if it's priced aggressively, it's going to go quickly. How can investors looking to get in, large multifamily is a different game. Let's maybe think of the smaller multifamily, 10, 20, 30, maybe even 50 unit type of properties first.
Our last three deals, we closed in a 25 unit back in December. We have a 21 unit contract on the contract right now, and we're putting this 40 unit on there. And there's a recurring theme. These 100 units plus, there's so much money out there. There's so much private equity that is bidding up these prices. And I'm not saying they're going to work in 3 years, but I don't want to buy a deal that is stabilized with bridge debt just because rents are so low, because that's like catching a falling knife. That is sooner or later going to turn real bad and real ugly. I don't want to create that kind of risk. No deal is better than a bad deal. I want every investor to
clarify. So bridge debt, meaning short-term financing.
Short-term financing. So yes, so you can get short-term financing for these big deals, 24 months or 36 months. It's non-recourse, interest rates higher, right? But the problem with that is costs are higher. And what happens if you're getting it now, in 24 months from now, interest rates have risen, which they almost will, without a doubt, have to, and you're refining into a higher debt, a higher interest rate. Very, very risky. And then you've got to complete all of the work. So for me, that's not the model. These smaller deals, these 30 and 40 units, you have mom and pop investors that are like, I'm in the single family home space. I'm only buying duplexes and quads. Those 30 units, I can't afford that. I can't do that. And then you have private equity saying, well, that's a waste of my time. I'm not going to do 30 or 40 units. So that's where we've been playing. It's really direct to seller has been working on these smaller deals, believe it or not. Other things you need to do, go out to conferences, right? Go out to Jake and Gino events, go out to other people's events that are out there, go to your multifamily meetups. In the market itself, when you're in our market of Knoxville, we know all the brokers. We've taken them all to lunch. We understand who plays in what space. We have a couple of brokers there who have larger deals and the brokers that have smaller deals. Understand and create relationships with all of them. And then constantly trying to get on all of their lists. They're offering memorandums. And when you do see a deal, you need to create rapport with these brokers. They don't want to go out for a cup of coffee. They want to go out and show Chris a deal. Get on the phone and get property tours, even if the deal is horrible, because you never know. Back in 2018, when we were in Louisville looking at our first deal, we were trying to syndicate our first deal. These brokers showed us 3 or 4 properties. At the end of the day, they said to Jake, you want to see one more? Jake would be like, great. They knew what we wanted, the mom and pop. That last deal at 5 p.m. was off market, showed us a deal, never came on market. Jake sat there, he saw a nice orange tractor going, this guy cuts his own grass. He wants this price, bam. And that's what happens, creating those relationships with those brokers and getting online. But for any of you out there who are wholesalers or who are in the single family space and do a lot of direct to seller, continue doing that, because there's a big opportunity, I think, in this market for that.
Yeah, and it's very interesting on how close knit. I mean, real estate in general, it's a very social industry, but there's not a lot of people in the multifamily space in comparison to single family.
Yes.
And it's funny, I'll talk with someone or I'll drop a name in a conversation with someone who's like, yeah, I know them. They did this and this deal with this investor and this, or, hey, watch out for this guy, or you definitely need to call this broker right here. Anyone that's doing any type of business in the 25 to 50 units, like it goes through him. It's that cohesion or that networking within multifamily I've seen is very strong. Everyone seems to know each other.
Chris, that's a great point. Our 85 unit that we closed last year in April, well, the 25 unit actually asked the 85 unit, how is it doing business with these guys? He said, fantastic. The 21 unit came from the 25 unit. So it's very, I don't want to say the word incestuous, but word gets around. You do what you say and you say what you do, and you follow through on your commitments, and you will have a long game in this space. It's like you said, it's not huge, and people do get around. They do know who the players are in the space.
100%.